argue on that. I think that might be a little tricky to call that against the defence. It was such a good free kick. He got up so high so quickly and down so quickly that I'm not sure there was anything they could do. But they're going to need to up their game considerably, Roma, to get back into this match. And that was the whistle that you heard from referee Bjorn Kauper. So as the crowd settles, the second half gets back underway at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid leading by that Isco goal to nil right at the end of the first 45 minutes. A superb free kick, sublime really, from Isco, his first goal in the Champions League since semi-final of the season before last, and having been on the score sheet at the weekend in La Liga as well. It's 2-2 for a midfield player who's been at the heart of plenty of good things for Real Madrid tonight. Home side, of course, all in white with the dark numbers and trim to the shorts. But Roma in the traditional red and yellow. Yellow socks, red shorts and shirts, yellow numbers. And Real Madrid playing towards the goal to our left-hand side now as we look in this second period. Lopetegui is on the left-hand side of the two dugouts in front as we look. He's in a dark suit as well, kind of in a pair of the cross between training shoes and smart shoes with the white soles that are very evident against the green grass.
They're very fashionable, actually. Just on Di Francesco's side now, I mean, Roma have been known under him to be pretty dynamic at times, and certainly the way they played in the first half, we didn't see much of that now, so this is a big test for them. Can they create something against the defending champions to get themselves back into the game?
Yeah, I think they might be unwise to go too dynamic too quickly in this match, but there may well be an opportunity for it as Roma clear their lines with Olsen's ball down the centre towards Dzeko. Ramos is going to tidy up here comfortably for Real Madrid, who lead by a goal to nil.
More from Fashion TV's Richard Connolly in a moment. First of all, goal to tell you about in Plzeň, Chris Parrott.
And CSKA Moscow are back in it. Their number 9, Chalov, with an excellent finish from Vlasic's cross, and having been outplayed in the first half, it's now game on in the Czech Republic. Plzeň 2, CSKA 1, 49 minutes gone.
Games underway elsewhere. Manchester United leading 2-0 at Young Boys. Manchester City 0, Lyon 2. Mikel Arteta, of course, taking charge of the team tonight on the touchline. And it's Benfica 0, Bayern 1 currently in Lisbon.
Here's Isco on the ball, just outside the penalty area for Real Madrid. Bale was arriving wide on the right-hand side. Pass to him was just deflected, slowed it down somewhat, but Bale moved to his right to collect it. And Real Madrid have it just outside the penalty area. Initially, it was Benzema on the counter-attack, and it seemed like a promising situation. It slowed down a little bit, but here is the Frenchman just outside the box, looking for space to shoot. Finds Bale inside the D, trying to tee up Casemiro, who then, instead of shooting, tried to roll it between defenders for Benzema, but it was just too wide of the big burly striker, and through to Robin Olsen, the Swedish international goalkeeper, signed as the replacement for Alisson during the off-season by Roma, and they'll pass their way out from the back very neatly. They've moved the ball up to Dzeko here. He has found Cengiz Under on the right-hand side. 2-on-2 for a moment. Cengiz Under goes for goal, and it's a super save from Keylor Navas. The Turkish international struck that really well with the left foot from just outside the box, and that is Roma's best counter-attack of the match so far. And Navas clawed it away with the right hand. It's a good save to a moving ball.
That's the best, as you mentioned, we've seen from Roma. Real intent. And if it was just started a bit further away from Keylor Navas, I don't think he would have got there. But a decent save, a corner, and that will give Roma a lot of confidence, I think.
Certainly his best save of the match. I'm struggling to think of another one, to be truthful. They had one shot on target in the first half, Roma. In comes the corner. Navas stays at home, and it was the tall figure of Varane who headed the ball clear and headed it very accurately to Modric. What a lovely back heel. Here's Isco with passes left and right. He finds Benzema. Bale's in the centre. Benzema thought about going himself and then squared it to Bale, who missed. He was off balance at the near post with, I think, Marcelo beyond him in a lot of space. And Benzema is maybe saying to Bale, that wasn't meant for you. And Real Madrid very nearly made the most of their counter-attacking opportunity so soon after Roma had had a good one of their own.
Brilliant build-up from Real Madrid. Let's quickly cross to another game in Spain tonight. Valencia, Juve. Phil Blackers watching this one.
It's Valencia 0, Juventus 1, 3 minutes into the second half. Juve down to 10, of course, after that Ronaldo red. And under pressure at the start of the half, Valencia have already had a decent opportunity created by Gedges and Gaia down the left-hand side. Rodrigo on the end of it, but put his header straight at Wojciech Szczesny. For the most part, Juventus have had the 10 men back behind the ball. Just seeing a rare foray forward from them at the moment to force a corner, but it could be a long second half for them.
Here's Real Madrid from the corner. Kroos, left-hand side. He's played it back to Casemiro, looking for the return. The champions leading by a goal to nil on the front foot here in the second half against Roma, who have threatened on the counter with that Cengiz Under effort a short time ago. But Madrid will feel they should have made it too when Bale's effort went wide with Marcelo waiting for the pass. Here's Marcelo now. He's got it into Bale, who hits the crossbar. Back to the Welshman, who couldn't control it. Bale got it out of his feet really well, lifted it up over the goalkeeper, and it thudded against the bar and away to safety. And it remains 1-0. Here's Carvajal on the right-hand side, just outside the corner of the box, but he can't slip the ball through to Modric. And Roma will look for line. Here's Florenzi in offside. Indeed he was. It'll be a free kick to Real Madrid.
Penalty in Valencia. Juve leading 1-0. Phil Blacker, who's stepping up for him.
Same as before, Miralem Pjanic, who scored from the spot at the end of the first half, has a second penalty for Juventus at the start of the second half, conceded by Jason Murillo. Here goes Pjanic, powerful penalty, right-footed. Again, it's precise into the corner, and Juventus double their lead. Pjanic from the spot for the second time in the game, having been under pressure at the start of the second half. It was conceded by Murillo, spotted again off the ball by the referee for a little pull as the corner came in. Good spot from the official, good penalty again from Pjanic at the double. Valencia 0, Juventus 2.
And the irony is Ronaldo probably would have taken both of those penalties had he been on the pitch. But Pjanic has done the job, and Juve are cruising even with 10 men after Ronaldo's red card. It's still, by the way, elsewhere. Benfica 0, Bayern 1, Manchester City 0, Lyon 2, Pilsenia 2, Cieska 1, and Young Boys 0, Manchester United 2.
Real Madrid coming forward again. Marcelo could not find Benzema with a low ball across the edge of the Roma penalty area. It remains 1-0 to the holders. This very much a night then across the UEFA Champions League when Ronaldo's absence is not being felt, neither by Real Madrid, who lead by a goal to nil, nor by Juventus, who now lead by 2 goals, having had Ronaldo sent off in the first half. And who would have thought we'd ever say that about the Champions League? Football never ceases to surprise you. Here's Marcelo down the left-hand side. Oh, he's got away from Florenzi here. A lot of space here. Marcelo darts into the box, tries to clip it in towards Benzema. Header clear, drops for Kroos, who feints out and then turns back in towards the penalty area. His cross this time headed away by Fazio, who is a real tower at the back for Roma. And inevitably enough, it's collected by the Real Madrid midfield, and it's coming back again. Casemiro this time to Modric. Lopetegui wants them to dominate possession to a greater extent, and they're doing so tonight, that's for sure. Cross in from the right from Carvajal, headed clear by Roma, and then a little barge in the back by Varane on Dzeko, and Roma will get a free kick, one I'm sure for which they are quite grateful. They're under the cosh again in this second half, Chris.
They are. I think we're gonna see a change in a moment for Roma. I just wonder at what stage do they stop exclusively playing on the counter-attack. It's going to be the end of the debutants' night, and actually I think Nicola Zaniolo's played pretty okay. Lorenzo Pellegrini is on in his place. I just wonder if they'll look to start. Maybe not yet. It's only 54 minutes gone, and if they risk conceding a second, it's game over. For now, they're happy to continue to play pretty much exclusively on the counter-attack.
Offside flag here up against Pellegrini, who's just come on over on the far side, and his manager's just brought him on, but he's already got his manager cross.
Well, I mean, that is one of the best situations Roma have had in this second half, and having just come on, he shouldn't have been offside. He was looking right across the line. He had Dzeko in the middle, so good in the air.
Thought for a second like that Francesco was going to take him off. Having put him straight on the field. Anyway, here comes Isco as Real Madrid look to counter. Marcelo steaming outside him as he often does. Modric is through the centre. He's been...
And these chances, they need to take one of them.
Game's not won yet. Corner to Roma, swung in near post. It was a good-looking ball, headed away by Ramos under some pressure at the near post. That was a terrific header, really. He had attackers either side of him, had the physical strength to get it away. Another good cross in there, nodded back into the danger area. Out came Navas with a flying punch in front of De Rossi, who was furthest forward. The deep cross made its way all the way through to Cengiz Under, and his header back across goal gave Navas a real problem, one he dealt with really well.
Very good goalkeeping, and actually his punch hit Varane. It could easily have gone back in for an own goal.
Another corner here, low ball in near post towards El Shaarawy. That was out of the Real Madrid playbook from the first half, and it nearly worked. And Real Madrid just getting a little nudge here from Roma. They haven't been sleeping, but so it's not a wake-up call, but they've just got to make sure that their intensity does not dip here. Roma are hugely capable, as we know. Real Madrid might counter here. A couple of fine passes to break them clear. And now Modric finding a galloping Gareth Bale, who scores! A marvellous finish from Gareth Bale at full pace. He drilled it across the goalkeeper into the far corner. Well, there is life without Ronaldo at the Bernabeu. Gareth Bale makes it Real Madrid 2, Roma 0.
What a strike. Precision from Gareth Bale at full tilt as well. It was a wonderful finish. First of all, Luka Modric with a defence-splitting pass, and then Bale from just inside the penalty area hit that true across the goalkeeper, diving full stretch to his left-hand side, and it goes right into the side netting just by the post. Oh, we talked about a perfect free kick. That is exceptional from Gareth Bale, and it's probably the points for Real Madrid.
Well, he's been in extraordinary goal-scoring form, Gareth Bale. Until Saturday, he'd scored in 7 consecutive Spanish Liga games. Here he is with his 4th of the season in all competitions. And, well, once again, the quality of Real Madrid, even without Ronaldo, was there to be seen by all, Rob. And Real Madrid lead by 2-0.
Beautiful effort from Bale. Madrid deservedly leading. Lyon, meanwhile, have just hit the post. Memphis Depay, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, hit the inside of the post, and it bounced away from the goal line. But City with all of the ball in the second half. A nervy moment there. Richard Connolly was almost out of his seat. What happened there, Richard?
Well, a wayward back pass towards Robin Olsen, and Karim Benzema was moving towards Olsen, much in the way that he moved towards Loris Karius.
He doesn't look that comfortable with the ball at his feet, does he, Olsen? He looks a bit uncertain with it.
Well, he got rid of it sharply enough on that occasion, and accurately enough as well. As Roma move it forward, here's Kolarov inside the penalty area, tight angle, but his left foot is deadly, or it would have been, had Casemiro not stepped in to remove the ball from his shoelaces. And beautiful work from Benzema to hold it up and feed a flying Marcelo down the left-hand side. And, well, his diagonal ball is a good one too. Bale out on the right flank this time. Isco calling for it to be switched back to the left-hand side. Bale waits and goes back to Toni Kroos, and Sergio Ramos now coming forward. We are past 60 minutes in the Bernabeu, 2-0 to Real Madrid, and it's no coincidence, I think, that the second goal for Real Madrid came just as Roma were starting to play with a little more confidence. The space on the counter was there, and they were deadly with it. Here's Carvajal down the right-hand side. Bale and Benzema are lurking by the penalty spot for the cross, but it didn't come this time. Isco finds Modric. Perfect control from the Croatian on the edge of the box. Wide to Carvajal, back to Isco just outside. Now he floats it in. Bale at the back post can't quite grow enough to make the header. Marcelo's going to keep it in by the corner flag. There's a battle with Florenzi for the loose ball, and a throw into Roma is going to be awarded. 2-0 to Real Madrid.
To the Mestalla, Phil Blacker.
Valencia with a free kick here. Daniel Parejo swings it into the penalty area. Charisov, first touch for him, trying to cut it back into the box. He has just come on. It's an attacking switch from Marcelino, taking off at Ruben Vezo, the fullback, as Charisov again delivers dangerously, held by the goalkeeper. All the pressure now is on the Juventus goal at the moment, but of course they have the 2-goal cushion thanks to the 2 perfectly placed penalties from Pjanic after the early red card for Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus are down to 10 men. It is beginning to tell in terms of the pressure on their goal now. The passage of play very much in favour of Valencia. They haven't been able to find a way through yet. It's Valencia 0, Juve 2.
Sergio Gnabry coming on for Bayern as they lead 2-0 at Benfica. Sergio Aguero is on for Gabriel Jesus, with City trailing 2-0 at home to Lyon. And we just saw a replay of the Gareth Bale goal. You know when you play pool and it lines up perfectly and you smack it into the back of the pocket? He basically did that with the ball into the corner of the net. Not bad, Chris.
Well, I wouldn't know, because I never managed to do that in that
you're quite poor at pool.
Terrible, but I mean, it was so good from Gareth Bale, and you know, so much talk about him being the main man at the Bernabeu this season. He's certainly delivered.
At the Bernabeu, Cengiz Under with the ball for Roma, trying to curl a pass with the outside of his left foot into the Real Madrid penalty area. He succeeded at that, but Real Madrid clearing comfortably enough. Casemiro's done a good job guiding in front of the back four tonight, but gave the ball away on that occasion. Kolarov tries his luck, and it fizzed away from that left boot of his, and it's an excellent save from Keylor Navas. He wasn't taken by surprise, because it happened very quickly in front of him, and it's an excellent save, getting down quickly, low to his left, really stretching out the fingers. Here comes the corner, whipped in from the right-hand side, deep to the back post, and nodded by Manolas when Pellegrini was lurking right behind him, and it would have been a better chance from Pellegrini.
A much better chance than having a bit of an argument out there, but I mean, we talk about Bale's finish. Kolarov has got an incredible left foot, and he showed it there. That really was a very good save from Keylor Navas, who's been chosen ahead of Thibaut Courtois for their opening Champions League game. And again, I mean, he's been a standout performer from Real Madrid. I'm fascinated to see how that goes as the season goes on.
Dzeko running through down the inside left channel. He's onside, you know, he's got 2 in the centre. Cross comes back to him, it deflects and goes wide, and he will get a corner. Edin Dzeko should tell you about 2 changes very quickly. And while we were away there talking about Valencia Juventus, Benzema's gone off for Real Madrid. Asensio's on in his place, and Diego Perotti is on for El Shaarawy for Roma. So a change of pace. 2-0 to Real Madrid. Isco and Bale with the goals. Here is Kolarov on the left-hand side from the short corner played back. Doesn't look like anything's going to develop from this, as Kolarov comes back, and it's struck from fully 35 metres very ambitiously. Blocked comfortably by Real Madrid, finds its way over to the far side, where Perotti is stopped by the sliding challenge of Isco, and Roma will get themselves another corner.
Decent response this, though, to the second goal. If anyone thought Roma were just going to fold, hasn't been the way.
Perotti takes, it's swinging in towards goal, but there's Navas again. He's been glove perfect tonight, you'd say, and his throw out there to Marcelo was a really good one. Marcelo looking up for runners, swings the diagonal ball some 40 metres across the field, but headed back to another red and yellow shirt by the retreating Roma defence, and they will take the ball with Real Madrid content to take a mini breather here, leading as they do by 2-0. Roma have won twice in the Bernabeu over the course of the last 2 decades in 5 visits, so their record is a reasonable one, but no reason to believe at this moment that that record is going to be improved upon, because Real Madrid do look a class above. That's been the feeling really from the outset, and the 2 goals, you'd say, are an accurate reflection of that dominance. Roma in possession, but inside their own half at the moment, 2-0 down, Rob.
3-0 Manchester United at Young Boys, Chris Parrott.
And 3 points. Anthony Martial, who hasn't had much of a look in this season. Pogba's scored 2, now he's created 1. A ball to Martial, who right-footed just about got it beyond the goalkeeper. Another good finish and an excellent night for Jose Mourinho's side. Young Boys 0, Manchester United 3.
Manchester City have scored. Bernardo Silva with a low finish into the corner. Great work by Leroy Sané. Left-hand side of the area, got to the byline, cut it back, and Bernardo Silva swept his left boot through it and across the goalkeeper. So it is Manchester City 1, Lyon 2. Roughly 25 minutes to go, and the comeback may be on goals for Manchester teams in the past 60 seconds.
Yeah, there are big stories tonight in the Champions League, that's for sure. Ronaldo's sending off may be the biggest of them, but in result terms, Manchester City losing at home is certainly the biggest surprise. Here's Marcelo for Real Madrid, who are doing what they are expected to do and winning at home, as they usually do. They've won 34 of the last 42 at home in the UEFA Champions League. It looks like it's going to be 35 out of 43. Here's Asensio on the ball, just outside the penalty area to the right-hand side. Pulls the ball back to Isco, central midfield, now wide to the near side to Marcelo as Real Madrid attack the goal to our left-hand side. If you weren't with us at the start, 10 of the 11 who started tonight started the UEFA Champions League final. The other one was Gareth Bale, who's been on the score sheet tonight, so a very familiar lineup. Here's Casemiro, urged to shoot, and he nearly scored. It whistled narrowly over the top of the crossbar, but they let him have too much space, and he nearly punished them. 2-0.
To Phil Blacker watching Valencia 0, Juventus 2.
2-0 here as well to Juventus, who are just making a substitution as you join me, and are about to bring on Douglas Costa. I think it's Bernardeschi that is making ways. He comes to the touchline for instructions. Valencia struggling really to find any sort of end product here. Carlos Soler with a couple of efforts, one flash just wide, the other brought a fine save. It's Pjanic who is coming off actually as Costa replaces him. It's Valencia 0, Juventus 2.
Real Madrid looking for a third that would seal the points in the Bernabeu. Not this time, as Modric couldn't get on the end of a return pass, but they are probing once more around the edge of the Roma penalty area. Here's Marcelo, who's at the heart of so much for them. Now wide to Asensio, popping up on the left-hand side. He pulls a cross back. It's De Rossi on the penalty spot, who clears on the volley for Roma to the near side for a Real Madrid throw-in. Roma, who gave a debut tonight to Nicolo Zaniolo, 19-year-old who not played in the Champions League, not played for Roma at all before. His only senior matches were in Serie B. He came off in the second half for Lorenzo Pellegrini. But a slightly experimental lineup for Eusebio Di Francesco, who's trying to work out his best midfield for Roma. At the moment, he's jumping up and down in frustration as Real Madrid pass the ball through his team again. Wide it goes to Asensio, who's on the right this time. He's found space for a shot. He looked to curl it, but didn't quite get enough bend on it, and wide it goes for a goal kick to Roma. But the chances of Real Madrid getting a third goal look far greater than the hopes of Roma of pulling a goal back, Chris Parrott.
Yeah, just worry a little bit for Roma now if Real Madrid really click through the gears. We saw this last night with Barcelona when they scored some quick goals. Patrick Schick, very talented striker, is coming on for Steven Nzonzi, so it's an attacking change. Some coaches might think, okay, 2-0, we wanted to get something from the game, but we don't want to lose 4 or 5, but not Eusebio Di Francesco's way. And of course Roma, you know, plenty expected, having reached the semi-finals now. They're playing like a big club would away at Real Madrid. They're going for it.
And here is Cengiz Ünder, who's been as lively as anyone in a Roma shirt tonight. He certainly forced a fine save from Keylor Navas at the start of the second half, Turkey international. Schick's first touch, not a good one on this near side, and it bounces off his shins and out for a Real Madrid throw-in. Looks like Lorenzo Pellegrini has been brought back into a deeper role, so they're going to retain the broad shape of the 4-3-3. Roma. Looking at a replay there, Sergio Ramos, having been beaten by Cengiz Under a moment ago, thought about pulling him back. Ramos is on a yellow card, so is De Rossi, by the way, for Roma. That was earlier in the second half.
Quite the night if Ronaldo and Ramos both got sent off.
Well, we certainly would be more surprised about the Ronaldo decision regardless, wouldn't we? That was a real shocker. He left the field in tears. If you are just tuning into UEFA Champions League Match Day Live, we've been covering, of course, with Phil Blacker, the Valencia-Juventus game. Juventus 2 goals up there with just a little over 20 minutes to go. Roma looking for a goal back here and finding space between defenders here for Schick, but Carvajal once again is covering his centre-back so effectively and clears the danger for Real Madrid. Asensio collects it on the right-hand side, and he couldn't find either Bale. So for Roma, and Mariano Diaz is going to get an opportunity for the last 20 minutes for Real Madrid. Striker who was sold to Lyon for last season, had a pretty prolific time of it in Liga. Asensio's intercepted a cross-field pass here for Real Madrid. Isco running in front of him, ignored by Asensio, who looked to find Bale, and that pass was cut out by Daniele De Rossi. He's done a lot of graft in that midfield for Roma tonight.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he? Captain, evergreen. I wonder whether it'll be Gareth Bale. You know, at 2-0, Lopetegui would expect Real Madrid to see this game out. You know, rotating players, but here come Roma.
With Cengiz Under, he's got Dzeko in the centre. Dzeko, who scored in 5 consecutive UEFA Champions League games. He comes back to Schick, who leant back and sent his shot way over the crossbar. And Dzeko is saying to Cengiz Under, play it to me, and play it to me early.
What a chance that was. All of a sudden, it was 3-on-2. Schick's effort in the end was not the best, and it was a difficult chance. But when that break first started, you thought surely Roma are going to score.
It is Bale coming off. It is Mariano Diaz who is coming on. Bale, who scored the second for Real Madrid tonight. It may be the clincher. It was classic old school Gareth Bale, left winger style Gareth Bale. He rifled the low shot across Olsen into the corner. A brilliant goal at full speed, and it's probably sealed the points for Real Madrid tonight.
Quick update on the changes at Valencia-Juventus. Let's go to Phil Blacker.
It's Valencia 0, Juventus 2 still, but a double change by Marcelino, so all 3 of his subs are on the field now. He's just brought on Cristiano Piccini and notably Kevin Gamero in place of Michy Batshuayi, but Gonzalo Guedes also making way.
Here's Mariano for Real Madrid. He's just come on, found by the pass from Isco. Now Kroos inside the penalty area. Kroos goes for goal. An excellent save by the goalkeeper and headed behind by Kolarov. Well, Robin Olsen has kept the score down to some effect tonight. But Mariano Diaz, having just come on, nearly assisted Toni Kroos, whose left-footed effort from a tight angle nearly caught out the Swedish goalkeeper.
Brilliant from Kroos. You didn't think there was the chance for a decent shot.
Here's Modric. He's got a chance to shoot now. Palmed away by the keeper and just wide enough that Ramos couldn't tap it home. The captain collects. It's still alive. Isco drives it in towards Mariano Diaz, and it's flicked off a Roma head for a Real Madrid corner. I think they're in the mood to finish with a couple more goals here.
Yeah, Sergio Ramos, you thought he was going to get on the end of that rebound off of Robin Olsen, but he couldn't quite stretch out his left boot. Still a corner. They fancy a third.
Casemiro in the centre. It's a high ball in. Ramos is leaping for it. So too was Casemiro. I think Ramos might have headed his own player there. Casemiro took a blow just above the eye in the first half, but seems to be running back towards the centre circle okay, as the clearance was affected by Roma, and Real Madrid will get a throw in over on the far side. A little over 15 minutes to go. Real Madrid comfortable enough. Juventus 2-0 up at Valencia. Manchester City behind at home to Lyon. That's the big footballing story of the night. Ronaldo's sending off is the other, I suppose. The fact that he left the pitch in tears at the Mestalla, but neither Juventus nor Real Madrid have felt Ronaldo's absence tonight, as Now that's clears for Real Madrid, but it's picked up by Roma, who slip in. Cengiz Under, he's away from Marcelo, and Ramos was in the way. Comes back to Florenzi on the right-hand side. He's got time to pick the cross out, but it's Varane who heads away. Tall figure, no fuss. But again, opportunities for Roma here.
They have had chances, haven't they? So many good attacking positions that they haven't really made the most of.
Got the ball by the corner flag now. Marcelo snakes out a leg to play it into touch for a throw-in, just a couple of meters from the flag on the near side as Roma attack the goal to our right. Florenzi is going to take it. In it goes to Patrick Schick. Now Cengiz Under picks out Dzeko, this time on the edge of the penalty box, looking for half a meter to try and find a shooting angle, but couldn't get it through. Eventually to Perotti. Then a strong challenge on Mariano, and Roma are going to pick up a yellow card for the challenge that stopped the counter-attack, and it looks like the caution has gone in Dzeko's direction. Remains 2-0. Real Madrid for the moment pretty comfortable with 14 minutes to go.
Update from Manchester City. They still trail Lyon by 2 goals to 1. First half goals from Maxwell Cornet and Nabil Fekir. Now they have pulled one back through Bernardo Silva, and they've chucked on Leroy Sané, who has been excellent. Just set up a chance for Aguero, who's also on as a sub. A low-range effort from the edge of the penalty area, well held by the goalkeeper. And Riyad Mahrez is on for his Champions League debut with the club. Played in the competition with Leicester, of course, but now in Manchester City colours, and they still trail 2-1 into the final quarter of an hour.
Real Madrid still threatening. Mariano Diaz has got the ball. It's not a foul. It's a no-look pass towards Isco, which he didn't quite get right. He wasn't looking at the ball. As a result, he didn't make the perfect contact on the through ball to Isco. But his work in snaffling the ball from the defender had been good in the first place, and he certainly looked lively since he's come on for Real Madrid. But the game is quite stretched now, and while that does present occasional openings for Roma, you do feel that Real Madrid are likely to be the more clinical. That's been the pattern so far.
Yeah, you can see why they brought him back there, Mariano. He does give them an option off the bench. He is a bit of a nightmare to play against if you are a defender. He's constantly, snapping at the heels. He's an excellent finisher, and he's brought something to Real Madrid since he's come on, actually. There he is, closing down space again, winning the ball, or almost winning the ball off of Roma in a dangerous position.
Yeah, Pellegrini found himself in quite a deep position and under a lot of pressure, but did well to fend off the attentions of his opposing number 7. And now Roma look to try and find Kolarov flying down that left-hand side. Carvajal goes to ground, though, with a well-timed slide challenge. He's been excellent tonight, Carvajal as well. Both fullbacks have played superbly for Real Madrid.
How often have we said that? I mean, 2 of the very best.
No question. Real delight to see some of the combinations between Marcelo and Isco tonight in particular. And good work back there by Casemiro again. He's a quiet performer, but an excellent one. He's won so many clean tackles, just through sheer strength at times. His positioning, of course, has been excellent too. Now De Rossi for Roma on the halfway line, looking for a ball between defenders. Varane steps across and helps it into touch. He's been quietly patrolling the defence tonight.
He has, yeah, just about to Casemiro. It was almost the first thing Zidane did when he took over. No longer here is Zinedine Zidane, but that legacy of bringing Casemiro really back into the starting 11, making him a major player, will live on without him. He's such a vital player for Real Madrid.
Well, here's Mariano rather on a terrific run, got away from 2 defenders, and then Fazio had a 5-meter head start, and it's as well for the Argentine that he did. Isco collects, crowd applaud the run by Mariano. Isco into the box, step overs, taunting, and then a turn by Asensio, a wonderful save by Olsen. Asensio took that on the full pirouette, and he skated between the defenders, and you thought this was going to be a real wonder goal, but Olsen actually reacted superbly to spread the legs and make a save with the feet when it seemed like the finish was going to be the easy bit. Here's Cengiz Under at the other end for Roma. They want a goal back to keep the game alive, and then Pellegrini running onto the ball was knocked to the floor. He felt referee was in an excellent position, Bjorn Kuipers, and just said no, there's no foul there. And now all of a sudden, although they're not playing quickly, it's 4-on-4 for Real Madrid here. Toni Kroos plays it to Asensio. He's spotted that there is a big gap here. He's one-on-one with the defender. Looked across, it comes back to Asensio. And then his shot is blocked by Manolas and out for a corner. But, well, Roma not committing too many resources to defence there.
No, they're not, and they still don't look, especially on their game going forward. But what a save that was from Olsen. It was a balletic turn from Asensio, and then you just thought he scored. A wonderful save from Olsen, coming out, stuck his left boot out, and you know what, if it hadn't been for Olsen tonight, it might have been 5 or 6.
He went for the no-look finish. Asensio went for the no-look finish.
Why not if you've just done that turn?
This is extraordinary. In comes the corner towards Casemiro, who's up with the defender. That's come back off the head of Patrick Schick there, and it will be another Real Madrid corner. It's not enough to score tonight. You've got to score with a flourish, leave an indelible memory. That was what Asensio was thinking of there. It cost him the goal, actually. If he had been fully concentrating on the goalkeeper's position, I'm a lot more confident that he would have lifted it beyond him.
Imagine he had scored though after that turn and then the no-look finish. But actually, if you look at the reaction from Lopetegui, he is definitely in your school of thought. He wants this game over.
It's not completely done yet.
It's not.
And that was, yeah, an enjoyable flourish, I'm sure, and one which would have spread like wildfire around the world. But I suspect there might be a little word in the ear later from the manager about that one. Not to be too much of a killjoy.
You're no fun, are you, Richard? Full-time 2-2, yeah, absolutely right. No, I'm with you.
Let's see, but Roma will still feel, and they won't like, if they did realise what Asensio was doing, they won't like that so early in the game. They won't feel that it was especially respectful, perhaps.
Either this or Richard's got Asensio in his fantasy team.
Here's Kroos for Real Madrid, who do lead by 2-0 and have been the better side for so much of the night. And Kroos taking out 3 midfielders with a superb pass. And then Casemiro tried to slide it through for Asensio. It's still alive, though. And it's back in by Mariano, and Asensio couldn't quite pull it under control. And Roma are just about surviving at the back and have cleared for the time being. And while they're not playing with excessive belief, they are still leaving several players forward on the off chance that they can catch Real Madrid out here, and that Real Madrid just get a little overconfident, as perhaps we may have seen with that attempted no-look finish by Marco Asensio a short time ago. Asensio, who was referred to by Eusebio Di Francesco pre-match. Di Francesco, the Roma coach, said that he thought Asensio was so good he could be a future Ballon d'Or winner. Well, you've got one of those on your bench, you know you have got strength in depth. Mariano here exchanging with Marcelo. Roma not really getting particularly close to the ball carrier, but then the challenge is made by Florenzi. And the Giallorossi have the ball back again, but deep in their own territory with no great prospect of escape in the short term. And they remain 2-0 down here to the holders. Real Madrid look like beginning another defence of the title with a victory at the Bernabeu. 2 goals to the good at the time for the time being, Rob. As Florenzi plays it forward to Dzeko. Dzeko to Cengiz Under, who's onside. Wide position down the right-hand side. Ramos comes across. The low ball in was well read by Varane. Striker's instinct there. He moved straight towards the ball, and the forwards were nowhere near it. And Real Madrid can bring it away on the counter. Kroos in just cruise control, bringing it out towards halfway. Isco's in lots of space on the near side if Asensio wanted to find him. Now Isco will collect it, but, well, Real Madrid are in second gear at the moment, just relaxing a few minutes before the end. And a goal here for Roma really would shake things up, you know. It's not quite done yet. Perotti down the left-hand side. He wants the corner here. No, Bjorn Kauper says it will be a goal kick to Real Madrid, whose 2-goal lead remains intact.
Carl Walker's just fired a free kick over the bar from the edge of the penalty area for Manchester City. They trail Lyon still at home by 2-1. Chris, disallowed goal in the game between Pilsenia 2, CSKA 1.
Yeah, Timur Jamel Etinov for CSKA thought he got the equaliser. They were 2-0 down at the break, remember. Rodrigo Bicao turning and firing a shot in, and Jamel Etinov stuck out a knee, but in the build-up there was a foul against Roman Hubnik, the Brazilian captain, who's in some discomfort, and the goal was correctly disallowed. So still, Plzeň leads Sieska by 2-1, 3 minutes to go. Really good ending in the Czech Republic.
Let's get a quick update from Valencia 0, Juve 2, a game in which Ronaldo has been sent off. Phil Blacker.
Sent off early on at 0-0. Juventus leading by 2-0. Under pressure here as the ball is whipped in. Again, it's Gamero on the end of it, who's come on for Valencia. Flashes it wide, as he did with an earlier effort a moment ago. Couple from Carlos Soler from distance as well, going wide. Valencia have 4 forwards on the field, but they can't find the finish at the moment, and they have less than 7 minutes to do so. Valencia 0, Juventus 2.
Benfica 0, Bayern 2. Lewandowski and Sanchez with the goals there. Young Boys 0, Manchester United 3. 2 for Pogba plus an assist for Anthony Martial. You're listening to Matchday Live with me, Rob Daly. Stay with us. We're on air for roughly another 45 minutes. Plenty of analysis on the night's action to come here on UEFA.com and on the official UEFA Champions League app. Alongside me, Rob Daly, Chris Parrott and Richard Connolly. Closing stages at the Bernabeu. And Real Madrid have got a little bit sloppy here, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, they're coasting. They're coasting through this second half. Living for the exceptional moment rather than ruthlessly seeing off their opponents here. I'm sure they feel that they've done plenty enough to win this game. Mariano is the player actually who's still at full throttle, having just come on, but most of the rest seem to be in energy conservation mode. Luka Modric, by the way, has been taken off. The player voted last season's UEFA Champions League Player of the Season. As Roma come forward, here's an opening for Schick, and it was a challenge by Carvajal that put him off, and Roma are going to get a corner, but the ball came in low from the right-hand side, and again there was just a little bit of an opportunity there for Roma, who are leaving players forward. 4 were forward there, and they didn't make enough of that.
Better touch there from Schick, and it would have been a really good chance. They've had so many openings. 6-7 in the second half.
Short corner taken to Kolarov. Laid back to the taker, and Verotti's cross comes off for the defender Dani Ceballos, who is the player who has come on for Modric, by the way. Modric has never scored at the Bernabeu in the Champions League. Had a good chance tonight with the slide on the run through and set up Bale's goal. In comes the Roma corner. Well, it's gone a long way and eventually cleared. Fazio got an initial header on. It wasn't a clean one, nearly dropped inside the goal area for a teammate. But the defence was just about alert enough from Real Madrid. You wouldn't be surprised if Roma got one back at this time. That's the sort of sleepy feel that we've got from the game at the moment. As Pellegrini curls in a cross, and there's the headed attempt by Dzeko, and a flying save by Keylor Navas. Well, the warning signs are there for Real Madrid. Dzeko couldn't quite keep up his run of scoring in consecutive games in this competition, but he has got a corner.
Really good save, and we've seen teams come back at the Bernabeu, even in this era of domination against Madrid.
Corner in towards Fazio. And the jumping was Asensio, then the driven attempt is going to go out for a throw-in by Kolarov. Tried to hit a spectacular dig on the volley, and well wide it goes. So 2 minutes of normal time, and maybe Roma's chance has gone here. But it was an opportunity. Dzeko with a smart header there, nodded it down into the grass, looking for it to lift up towards the top corner. And they can sometimes shoot through more quickly than a goalkeeper expects, but Navas has been terrific tonight for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he has.
Courtois on the bench, and that's a real battle for the #1 shirt. Quite what Julen Lopetegui's plan is for particular competitions, whether somebody's an outright #1, whether Navas is going to be Champions League and not domestic league. Who knows which way he's going to go, but he's going to get a good grilling about that after the match, you would suspect. Navas, who played the first 2 league games, and Courtois played the last 2. Maybe it's going to be like serving in table tennis. 2 for you and then 2 for me.
Which will probably leave both goalkeepers a little bit frustrated.
2-0 to Real Madrid, that's for sure, and we've got 1 minute of the 90 remaining. Here's Asensio picking up a good pocket of space, and now here's a chance for a third goal. Ceballos it was who struck it, deflection, took it comfortably into the arms of Olsen. Ceballos, who won his first full cap for Spain during the last international break. That 6-0 win over Croatia that so many thought was an extraordinary scoreline. Here's Kroos running forward, a lot of space for him. Now Isco outside him, Isco back onto the left foot, now twists again, and just sent himself off balance, really. And we'll have to settle for a corner on the far side. 20 seconds of normal time to go. The body language of the players still tells you that they feel like this result has been achieved a long time ago.
And they're
probably right, aren't they?
Yeah, they probably are right, but I think that's more because Roma haven't quite been good enough going forward. And I think they have given them more chances, and against a team in better form, Real Madrid might have come unstuck.
Kroos from the corner, he's passed it 50 yards to Marcelo, who curls the ball in. The offside flag up is up against Isco. Well, that was another intriguing variation from Real Madrid, who've been allowed to play on here. I thought there might have been a flag there, but Kroos has got the ball back on the far side. He can cross here from the right. Marcelo is waiting for it, drills the ball across the goal. It ran between 3 or 4 Real Madrid players, one of whom was Ramos, forward for the corner, who stayed up there. 3 minutes of added time has been signalled, and we are well into that now, 40 seconds into it. Home side have got to throw it over on the far side. Man City still 2-1 down at home going into added time. Tonight, that is the big upset on the night. Real Madrid, Juventus both winning. Here's Marcelo finding Mariano, cuts in, right foot shot, oh, it's a lovely goal! Mariano, the substitute, with the exclamation point on a terrific night for Real Madrid. A thumping victory over last season's semi-finalists, and Mariano with a curler to make it Real Madrid 3, Roma 0.
Well, he deserves that goal, doesn't he? He's been excellent since he's come on. He has a lovely hug with Sergio Ramos. He might never have thought he was going to score in Real Madrid white, but he has here. And that caps a wonderful night for the defending champions.
First goal in the UEFA Champions League for Mariano Diaz. It's only his second appearance in the competition. And that was emphatic. He stepped inside Manolas and curled it beautifully into the opposing corner. A wonderful goal to seal what's a fine night for the holders here. 3-0, Rob.
And his old team Leon are still winning at Manchester City 2-1. Penalty, CSKA Moscow in added time at Pilsenia. They trail 2-1 here, the Russian side. Can they equalise? Chris Parrott.
Nikola Vlasic. They were 2-0 down at the break. It's going to finish 2-2. Perfect penalty beyond Kozacic. And what a reply from the Russian side. 2-2 in the 95th minute.
3-0 to Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. We are 2.5 minutes into added time. Roma still coming forward, looking to try and take something away. But Real Madrid have cleared the danger, and there are options here for Kroos on the counter-attack. Ceballos with him to his right-hand side. He switches the play back to the left-hand side for Mariano, who's just opened his account in this competition. Now Isco with a cross in, and away by Manolas for Roma, who look a little short of energy. Schick in possession for them. Gives and goes down the left-hand side. Forward it goes to Edin Dzeko, who controls on the chest. And the referee will bring things to a conclusion in the Bernabeu. Well, no Ronaldo, no Zidane, but the same old scoreline in the Bernabeu. Lopetegui's reign